Hey there guys, this is not going to be a reading for the faint of heart, so prepare yourselves. It's going to be one of the most difficult readings I think I have ever done. It's coming in with, because I get the feelings of the reading and there is so much pain. This is so hard. Like literally I've been in floods of tears preparing to do this. So huge trigger warning, especially I sat down this reading ready to do next week's readings, and it was going to be, I wanted to do love readings, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do ghosted, because it's like spooky season, right? We're going into like Halloween season. I thought I'm going to do ghosted, it's going to be a thing. My video cut out sort of 3 minutes into the reading, so I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to go for a walk, I'm going to go to the shop, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to try again. And the first song that came on as I was walking was Cowboys by Charlotte Lawrence, Where Do All the Cowboys Run? And I was like, I just knew, like, this is the thing with being an intuitive reader, I just know what's happening and what they want to talk about. And it was confirmed by the next song that came on was Frozen by Madonna. And even like Charlotte Lawrence's Slow Motion as well is coming into play. So again, I kind of knew what the next song was going to be. It was My Future by Billie Eilish. I'm in love with my future, not with anybody. So the topic that they're talking about is specifically those of you who have been in a relationship that you had very, very, very deep feelings for. I'm going to say it's probably love, but it could be other things as well. Like situations, you know, people passing on, all this kind of thing. But it's talking about preparing yourself for it, preparing yourself to let go of someone. Can you hear it? It's hard. Preparing yourself to release. Releasing, specifically if this is a perhaps somebody who ghosted you, releasing the obsession over what went wrong, like where did they go, obsessive thinking. It's so funny as well because this morning, out of nowhere, what popped up on my YouTube feed was a series of videos by someone called Susan Winter. So if you are in this point where you're preparing to release feelings, release obsessive thinking, if you're like, how do I stop thinking about this person, I have to move on with my life, how do I get out of this, those videos by Susan Winter, I kind of had a peek at them. They seem helpful, so definitely going to recommend that you go and have a peek at them. You know, obviously, I don't know. I can't advise on that. I'm not a guidance counsellor of any kind, you know. So, but it was a resource that popped up that I figure it popped up for a reason. So preparing to release. And I think the thing is that when you've been in situations like this, when you've been in, when you've had very, very deep feelings for somebody or something, and it didn't work out and you don't know why, and you were ghosted, or like this person couldn't open up to you, and you've waited and you've been patient and you've given them your heart, and you're stuck, you're basically stuck. It's coming out in the readings this week. So it's like, how long do you stay in that holding pattern? How long do you sit there with holding your heart out, waiting patiently? There comes a point when you think, I can't deal with this pain anymore. I have to move on with my life. I have to release these feelings, release this person, and move forward. And I think a lot of you have tried to do this, but you can't get your mind off them. And this is the problem. This is, your mind keeps circling back to them. You just cannot, it's like they live in your mind, right? So what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. We're going to pull some cards. But it's this really deep pain that comes with knowing that it's time, knowing that you have to release, knowing that you have to move on, that you have to do something. And I think the temptation is to, so a lot of the time, to blame the other person, because it makes it easier. If you can get angry at them, then it's an easier emotion to deal with. What's really difficult, and what I think the key is here, is to not freeze up, is to not it's to not close down emotionally, it's to not become the ice queen, it's to not become cold, it's not to become hard. Because again, like the Pisces reading this week was so beautiful, and it talks about holding, seeing what's happened to you, seeing this whole experience as a huge lesson. And it's very, very bittersweet, which I think is causing a lot of this pain, because it's born of something beautiful. It's born of your ability to love unconditionally, to love selflessly, right? And that ability is something you should never ever lose, because it's divine. So what happens most of the time is people do shut down, or they get angry, or they close off emotionally. You know, they're giving me, there's a big black hole where my heart used to be. It's by Griff. I'm going to make a note of that. But yeah, I think, how do you stop that? How do you stop the darkness creeping in? How do you move forward and keep this ability to love, this ability to feel alive, and to not have that trauma of having to shut down to save yourself, you know? Because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be, if you're dealing with somebody who's frozen, right? They can't open up, they're cold, they're hurt, they can't let you in. How do you not become that person? You know, if you want to talk about breaking cycles here, how do you hold on to that divine ability to love and move forward and carry the pain? And this is the thing, a lot of you are so special, because it's like that pain is, it's like you're transmuting it. So you're learning the lessons, you're seeing it as something beautiful, and you're moving forward with your heart open, which is incredibly difficult. Very, very interesting. So what was that? Black Hole by Griff. But it is in slow motion. It is in slow motion. And again, listen to the songs like My Future by Billie Eilish as well. This deck in particular, cards have been coming out like the Ghostlands, you know, like you can't live in the future, you can't live in the past, you can only live in the here and now. A card called Deep Freeze, which I'm not seeing now that I'm looking for though. Deep Freeze, which is like, don't go into deep freeze. The messages coming out of this were like slow and steady, like slow and steady movement forward. Take the times out that you need. If you need a day where you just cry in bed, take the day where you just cry in bed. Like, move slowly forward. Again, this could definitely be grief. But I don't see, for some of you, you could be releasing your person to be free. It's like, I love you unconditionally, therefore I don't want to keep you chained to me. I don't want to keep you trapped because of my emotions. And it's almost like when you think of someone, they think of you. So it's like, I don't want this person to feel duty bound to me. I don't want this person to feel caged or guilty over like what's happened. It's like, I want this person to be free. I love them, therefore I want what's best for them, and I want them to move on to other relationships if that's going to make them happy. Again, some of you aren't feeling that, but some of you may be feeling more of the jealousy. You know, I'd say that's a different point in the progression, and whatever you feel is valid. But yeah, this unconditional love that's so important. It's so important that you move forward with that, move forward with your heart open. I love you, therefore I release you. But also in doing that, you are also releasing yourself. They showed me two images. The first one was it was almost like a thick, like a big, wide, thick elastic band between you stood on a shore and a big ship, like a big boat in the ocean. You know, like when they smash a bottle against the ship to send it off. But this was like chopping the elastic and the boat sailing away from you. But then also, so it's like the ship has sailed, right? But also they were showing me sort of almost like in space, and I couldn't see the thing that you were attached to, but again it was this cutting of the cord and you just releasing, like, and being free and being light. So really beautiful images that they were showing me. But that pain, it's like the pain from knowing that you're about to do this, the pain. It's like maybe you're doing like a cutting of the cord ceremony, or, you know, writing out your feelings and burning it, you know, writing to you person and burning it. So whatever you're doing to release, and you're about to do it, and the pain is so, it's one of the worst pains, worst emotional pains I think I've ever felt. But it's powerful and it's strong at the same time, because it's born from love. And it's brave, it's so brave. It takes a lot of courage to it takes a lot of courage to release yourself and release another person from this, I think. The maiden. Ugh, yeah, it's like growing up, right? And something fell on the floor. I'm gonna have to go on a hunt for it. I don't know where it went. The comic. Oh, this is putting on a happy face to me when you feel dark inside. Okay. So the maiden, number 8. Yeah, this is growing up. But please don't allow yourself to get jaded. Hold on to that inner maiden, right? The part of yourself that believes in fairy tales. Again, like Libra, Pisces have been having something like this. It's like, it's so beautiful and so pure and so childlike and innocent and genuine. It's like, don't lose that beautiful part of yourself. Don't allow the world and the mistreatment of others to make you jaded and cold and hard like they are, you know? Because they're damaged ultimately at the end of the day. If somebody's so frozen that they can't emotionally open up, it's because they've been hurt or they are afraid of being hurt. So you don't want to join them. You don't want to... It's almost like they're just showing me as like a mass, like the human race as a mass of pain that cycles. You know, people treat others badly because they were treated badly. It's like, don't go into that trap. Keep that part of yourself pure and open and believe in the fairy tales, because somebody has to, you know, somebody has to, otherwise we're doomed. If we have no hope, we're doomed, right? So don't feel, and I think a lot of people feel stupid. It's like, oh, I was so stupid to believe in that. I was so stupid to believe in that fantasy and that dream. No, you weren't. You weren't. You were just childlike and pure and undamaged, you know. And I don't know, you can Peter Pan this thing, you can grow up, but keep the dream alive, because it's what we should have, right? Okay. The virgin, the princess, the innocent. The maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive because of her flawless youthful glow. She's the first archetype in the trifecta of maiden, mother, crone. It's funny that I had it in the wrong order, right? And rightfully so, because she has oh so much to learn. The maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. But that's not her fault. That is the fault. This is like victim blaming. That's not her fault. If other people around her are cruel or unkind or take her for granted, that is not her fault. That's a problem with them, from their jadedness and their stories and their problems. You know, it's bad karma. The maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, and yet she hesitates at the threshold, enamoured by the charms of youth. The maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of the poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. When light, curious, enchanting, sensual, and full of vitality. When dark, pretends, projects, denies, and fantasizes. Go deeper, Persephone, Alice, or any princess figures. Do you long to be rescued by another or receive a kiss that brings you back to life? Be wary of waiting for a prince. Break the spell of your own life. So again, songs like Billie Eilish, My Future, and Madonna, Express Yourself as well. Those kind of songs, I think, are helpful when you're moving forward. Moving from maiden to the mother is challenging, often leaving unresolved tensions between the two archetypes for years, if not a lifetime. Okay, the comic, the Joker, the clown, and the fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. There we go, that's what I was saying. It was like, let me just check I'm still recording, because Mercury is being a troll at the moment in my sign. Again, Mercury is a bit of a comic, right? A bit of a trickster. For me, the comic has been hurt, but they use humour to heal others. So it's funny, because I was seeing, when I was saying don't join the crowd, don't step forward into that crowd of hurt, frozen people, you need to take a different route where you move forward, yes, but you have love, your heart space is open, whether that's pouring that love into yourself as well, like again in Billie Eilish's My Future, being in love with your own story, your own fairy tale, but also being the hero in your own fairy tale, something like that. But then it's this thing about using your own pain as comic material, right, to heal other people. So let's go and see what this is. The Joker, the Clown, the Fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. This is one of my favourite cards, by the way. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. So laughter may be key for you. It's funny, when I'm a bit upset, I tend to go and watch programs like New Girl. Like, it's a comedy TV show, and I don't know, it just, like, it's good for me when I'm down. And I was also talking about that deep pain, like it's one of the hardest pains that I've ever borne, you know, through the readings. So transmuting that, and that's what I was saying, transmuting it with love, with the ability to continue to hope, with childlike joy and wonder, the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humour requires one to see the situation from afar, rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician. Funny that I was talking about Mercury. Excuse me, the magician card is Mercury energy. Working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. So if I was to attach star signs, and you don't have to, I'd say Venus, Pisces, and Gemini for that one. When light, hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing. When dark, sarcastic, harsh, brooding, and drunk. Go deeper, images of laughing Buddha, stand-up or improv comedy. Be wary of people around you who are a bit of a comedian. They're probably hiding something. If you think about Robbie Williams as a character, funny that I mentioned Peter Pan, right? I think he was in a movie like that. Was he Peter Pan? Am I imagining that? Yeah, but the comic character, they usually are hiding a lot of darkness. So be wary of people like that around you. But also, it may just be saying that you need to either transmute your pain into comedy. Maybe some of you are comedians, or maybe you like write plays or something that are funny. And also, like, surround yourself with people who make you laugh at the moment if you need that. Yeah, it says images of laughing Buddha, stand-up or improv comedy. Joy, jokes and smiles are a sign of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others, and it can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. It's funny, I was thinking as well on the way home about Libra energy, about Venus energy, because I was going to do a set of Venus readings, and Venus rules Taurus and Libra, and I was thinking about how Libra is both the Empress, who's this nurturing, motherly, supportive, gorgeous, loving character, but she's also the Queen of Swords, which is like, she, he, they, by the way. The Queen of Swords is like, it is like Ice Queen energy. So for me, again, talking about Venus energy or Libra energy, it's this, when treated well, it's this beautiful, loving, nurturing, like gorgeous, high vibrational energy. But when treated badly, very quickly, you know, it's like boundaries are drawn, taking back my power, cutting the cord, going full Ice Queen. Like, it's like a full pullback of that love. It's like, you don't get this anymore. And then, like, when treated very badly, that energy flips. So you'd have like the Empress in reverse, who is very childish, you know, childish energy here, and you have the Queen of Swords in reverse, who's very, very catty, very bitchy. She will go right for the gullet, right for the heart space, and she will jab that sword in. So again, if you've known any kind of like, if you've been around any Libras who are normally mild-mannered, keep the peace, and you've seen them go off, you know that a Libra can go off, right? So, but that it normally comes from, you know, progressively. Progressively, it takes a long time for a Libra to get like that, I think. So I don't know if I'm dealing with Libra energy. Could be, could not be. As I say, I was going to do Venus readings, so tell me about the Maiden. But I feel like we are in Libra season as well, so I feel like that's why, because, and it's coming through in a lot of different readings, I think from Libra to Pisces, this kind of topic. So it's a broad topic for all signs, I'd say. The Elephant and the Otter. And tell me about the comic, please. Tell me about the comic. The Vulture. And the raccoon there. Okay. So there's definitely darkness behind the mask with this person. Could be two separate people. It could be two sides of the self again, like Gemini energy. The Elephant and the Otter. The Elephant for me does talk about taking it slow and steady, moving forward, finding your way out of the darkness, out of the shadowy forest of your own creation. One foot in front of the other, slow and steady, dependable. It kind of gives me Wounded Warrior energy, if you know the Nine of Wands. Like, it's like a long process. They've been damaged, they've fought a few battles, but they're wiser because of it. You know, elephants are known to never forget those lessons, to be very wise. And the otter for me talks about, otters tend to mate up. They tend to, if you ever see otters, they normally pair up, they hold hands, they swim around on the backs together. They're a very, very happy animal. So this feels to me like somebody who's been a bit of a wounded warrior. They've fought the battles, they've fought the way out of possible like depression or illusion or whatever they've been through that's pushing them into this maturing energy. But I feel like this child is still alive in them, this hope, this looking for a partnership, this looking for their soulmate, despite being battered and bruised, which is beautiful. Over here, the comic with the Vulture. Now, the Vulture for me is, they're kind of necessary. They come in after something has died. And they come in and they pick the carcass clean. So for me, the Vulture is like the clean-up crew. Very, very spiritual animal. You can see all the purple surrounding it here. Sort of similar to the Death card in the tarot, like probably Scorpionic energy of something. They watch and they wait. And then they come in almost for the easy pickings, but they're doing a job. So I don't know if this energy is preying on this energy, because this energy is vulnerable. This is coming through as wearing a mask, especially with the raccoon. And there is something dark here, but it's spiritual, I want to say. We've got fire, water, air. Okay. Interesting, the Daughter of Pentacles is on the underlying, sort of similar to this energy. Let's see what it says. Let's tackle these one by one. So the Elephant for the Maiden. With fire energy, it feels like drive. With it being fire, it's like steely determination. Sort of, I talk about the polar bear energy sometimes, about the polar bear being built for something and really pushing through. It's like, and they've got broad shoulders, so they can bear the burdens, they can bear the weight and keep on moving. And I feel like this is the thing. It's not giving up. It's like they're giving me, never give up, never surrender. Like having that pain, but not giving up and moving forward. Strong energy, unstoppable, auspicious, wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents the immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles, so if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured that the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. When in balance, one-pointed focus, generous and loving. When out of balance, misunderstands fate. To bring into balance, trust. Okay, so So when obstacles are placed in your way, that it's redirecting you. So for example, as a metaphor, you're going through something at the moment and it's like going through the woods, like not being able to see the path ahead clearly, not knowing what lies ahead, not knowing what's behind you, feeling a little bit scared, nervous, frightened, feeling unsure of yourself. So if you're coming up against an obstacle, for example, when my phone keeps cutting out, see it as a sign from the universe that they're stopping you going down a route that wasn't right for you. The universe, I feel like, is creating the path, lighting the path for you to follow. So it's almost saying take the easiest route right now. The universe is guiding you, so take the easiest route. And if that means having a bad day, it means having a bad day. Right? Trust and go with the flow. So tell me more about the elephant and the maiden. Oh, hello. Okay. Judgment. And judgment is kind of like a second chance or a revival. And then the Four of Pentacles can be holding on. So holding on to an idea of a second chance, holding on to the idea of reviving a situation. But it could be that the Four of Pentacles, it also represents the obstacles that are being put in your path. So if you're looking for a second chance with someone or something, you're looking to revive a situation and there's an obstacle in your way, I feel like the universe is protecting you from something. You are looking at this vulture energy. There's a mask being worn here. I'm also noticing as well, it looks like this bird has come up from the brambles and the trees. It's like it's over the forest. So I want to say, the eternal child there as well. I want to say that the universe has a higher perspective right now. The universe knows what the best path is for you. So there's something about understanding fate as well there. Understanding that you can't necessarily always have what you want and the universe is going to protect you. Redirection is God's protection kind of thing. The Tower, the Two of Cups, the Father of Cups, the Mother of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Okay, let's just move all that aside for a second. This is a pretty big deal. This is a lot. This is a lot. And it's very good. This is like an extremely good Tower moment. Now, it could literally be saying that maybe you've been in the woods and you've seen lightning strike a tree, but there's two lightning strikes on this tree, and there's two cups, and there's two characters. The Tower is, you've got a lot of Scorpionic energy here. I could associate this elephant with Scorpio as well. My mum's Scorpio and she loves elephants. And it talks about ancestry to me as well. You know, my dad was telling me a story the other day of how my granddad had broad hunched shoulders, and the people where he lived said he walked like an elephant. You know, presumably a bit stompy. Again, it's got this association with ancestors, perhaps ancestors guiding you, spirit guides, family members who have passed on perhaps, who can see your road ahead more clearly, and they're stopping you from going towards something that isn't right for you. But here you have something that is right for you, I want to say. You've got Scorpio, 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 Scorpio here. The Tower. So the Tower, that kind of Plutonic energy coming in, it's kind of chaos. It comes in like chaos. It feels like the rug's been pulled out from under your feet. It's like a light bulb moment, a wake-up call, a sudden realization. And what is being realized here, which is causing a lot of chaos in somebody's life, is that there is a loving relationship here. There is an equal, loving, supportive partnership where two people match each other. And oh my God, do they match each other, because you have the Father of Cups and the Mother of Cups. Talk about two sea otters. Like this is an emotional match. They're both shown as like these swans as well. Yin yang, light and dark, balanced, equal, loving, deeply, deeply, deeply loving. Scorpio, Cancer here. Doesn't have to be those signs. I just know sometimes people like to hear that. This is emotions run deep. This is almost like a psychic connection, intuitive connection, deep emotional bond here between these people. And then it comes in with the three little birds. This always gives me Bob Marley. Three little birds outside my window. Singing sweet songs and melodies pure and true. My heart thumped. This is a message for you. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's going to be all right. Maybe this is something your ancestors would sing to you. Everything's going to be all right. Now, the Three of Cups can mean a reunion. Perhaps you're meeting up with this person. Perhaps it's some kind of event. It talks about friendship as well. This could be somebody in your friendship circle, your support network. Trying to get me to something in that song, but I don't want to sit here going through the whole song. I don't know, maybe go and look up the Bob Marley song. I'm going to make a note of it, actually. Right, so there's quite a lot going on there. I'm going to ask about the otter as well in a second. Just let me pause a second. All right, I'm going to address the elephant in the room as well. And I'm not getting this in particular, but it is a way that you could read these cards. So the Three of Cups can indicate there's a third cup in this situation. Now, it could be that you're having a baby. It could be that there's a third party involved here. It could be that there's more than just two people in this relationship, which could be what the shock is. But the way I'm reading it is, oh my goodness, I realise I have feelings for someone. I realise they have feelings for me. Everything's going to be all right. Okay? So what's the otter? Tell me about the otter for the maiden. Gorgeous. Love it. Talking about Madonna-ing yourself up. I'm the Daughter of Pentacles. I knew that I was going to come out for that. I said before. It could be that you have a child. It could be you have a child who's an earth sign. But I feel like it's the same energy moving from maidenhood to motherhood. Now, it could be that you're having a child. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're having a child, although I did find that on this card. It's funny because this doesn't feel like the reading. It feels like a very different reading to the energy that I came in with. So it's curious to see what happens with that. The Mother of Wands, though, this Leo energy, it's very Madonna, very confident, very expressive. It's like, I am who I am, love me or hate me. Very creative, very bold, passionate, natural leader. This is you feeling really good about yourself, really stepping into your own power here, looking after yourself and being proud of who you are, being proud of your sexuality. And there's also this kind of Daughter of Pentacles element, though, that is this kind of this softer version of yourself. Tends to be somebody who's a bit of a planner, somebody who's quite observant, looking at the details, figuring things out. So you could be figuring something out in regards to your own sexuality and your own desires. Who do I want as a partner? What am I looking for? And I feel like there is this redirection. So perhaps you wanted someone or something or a type of person who wasn't ultimately good for you. It wasn't somebody that matched you. So there's this assessment of, what do I really need here? Okay, so the comic and the vulture. Let's just read the otter, though, before we continue, because I really like the otter card. If I can find it. Hello. It's not in alphabetical order, I don't think, so it's a bit awkward. Unobstructed joy, playfulness and contentment. Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck, the otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child, available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and reverence for life itself, without the presence of doubt, worry or skepticism. So this is what I'm saying. This is somebody going forward, holding on to that beautiful, playful, childlike part of themselves, which I think allows love into you more easily. So it's like, perhaps you've been in a relationship in the past that hasn't worked out. You've given it a lot of second chances, where now it's like, I'm finally ready to let this go. I'm finally ready to move on. And I'm going to move on in the vibration that I want to attract into my life. Because if I shut down, if I go cold, if I go ice queen, if I go hard and jaded and like this energy, almost like what's behind the mask, if I go forward like that, then I'm going to attract that to me. I'm going to attract codependency and other people who are messy. I want to go into relationships with my heart open, honest, not playing games. And yes, I might get hurt, but that's on them. That is on them. You know, that's their bad behavior. I'm going to go forward and attract that kind of open, high vibrational, fun loving, joyous, like like childlike belief that your dreams can happen. I'm going to go forward like that, and that's what I want to attract in. Unfortunately, it is going to attract kind of predator energy, I want to say. I'm going to give this person the shadow of the doubt, but we'll see. But ultimately, you are going to get this. This is real, and this is deep, and this is true. But you're not going to get that if you're going into it like, you know, blocked emotions, jaded. So keep the vibration high. Without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Excuse me. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would your life look like? What would it be? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. I feel like the universe is guiding you to somebody who matches you, but you have to release the old person. When in balance, full of love, needs nothing. When out of balance, gloomy, sighs, makes silly excuses. Bring into balance, dance party or celebration. That could be what this is. And I am getting something about a disco or like a dance floor quite a lot lately. Okay, so the comic and the vulture. Guardian. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. So this could be the sort of person that somebody misjudges. You know, like, because perhaps they do wear a mask, perhaps they do put on a smile to cover up quite an intense, dark, plutonic energy. This feels like the death card, right? Like deep, heavy, spiritual plutonic energy, kind of high priestess, death card, again, very scorpionic. So because this person shows the lighter side while carrying this heaviness, people could sense that there's something a bit off with this person. It's like alarm bells ring, right? It's because like there's something in their eyes, but they're not necessarily bad. You know, like if you want to talk about Hades from classical culture, people wouldn't even say his name because they were scared of like invoking him. But ultimately, he wasn't like the devil. You know, Hades in Greek mythology was not like the evil devil who lives in hell. You know, Hades was almost a more of a kind of benefactor figure, I'd almost say, where, you know, people respected that energy because his job, basically, it was his job by lot. He had to make sure that the dead stayed in the underworld, because if they didn't, that would be kind of really chaotic on Earth. So he was like the guardian. He would collect souls who had, you know, their physical body was no longer working. They were in intense pain and suffering. So it was a relief when, you know, when their soul was collected and taken to the underworld. If somebody had gone through immense trauma emotionally in their life, they went through the river Lethe, which would cleanse the memories. They'd forget about all the pain and suffering. So, and he was also responsible for putting minerals and nutrients and things into the earth so that plants could grow, so that people could mine precious materials. So there's a huge misunderstanding, I think, of that kind of energy sometimes, where we associate it with something that's negative and scary, when actually it's something that's protective and compassionate. So I'm not saying that this person like runs around like the Grim Reaper or anything like that, but what I'm saying is that they, you know, death has touched them. They have had this pain and suffering. They have this darkness within them. They're not necessarily a bad person. So the vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or a tragedy is a blessing in disguise. Again, what I was saying. When in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic or aggressive. Bring into balance, clean your space or sage. I mean, careful with the sage. I think there's, I think it's been over farmed at the moment. So Palo Santo is a good alternative possibly there. I want to know about that raccoon as well, because I feel like it's the same energy. It's like wearing a mask. There's darkness underneath. Talented, shadowy, in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadowy side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favour. Other times it limits creativity. Who am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. Okay. Tell me about the Vulture for the comic. I just saw the Fool, but it went back in, and now I'm seeing the Magician. Yeah, I was saying the Magician energy. This is, it is kind of trickster energy, or playing your cards close to your chest, or hiding something. Ace of Pentacles and the Hermit. I feel like this person perhaps has strong platonic energy in their chart, so maybe go and check out their Pluto placement. There's a lot of darkness here, and that's not necessarily bad. As I say, it can be, if this is a Scorpio especially, like very, very deeply spiritual or connected to spirituality, they may be able to manifest things very, very strongly. There's an opportunity here. There's an offer, a gift, and you've got this Hermit energy as well. So this is deep, deep soul searching. It could be that this person's been through or is going through a dark night of the soul, which would explain why they've gone so quiet. You've got two aces here. Now there is something, the universe is doing something with this person or through this person. There's two, the aces are gifts from the universe. Yeah, there's something going on here. Look, you see the lightning strike. It's like the light, right? Okay, do you see this Ace of Pentacles? It's got this kind of, it's like cracked. It's like the log's cracked, and you can see it's like, here's the point of where it hits. It's like deep to the roots, I'm hearing, with this card underneath. Something to do with nostalgia in the past. And there's the Ace of Cups. There's something, this person's going through something. This is like a brand new start. This is like this energy. This is like death and rebirth, like a big transformation here. Definitely feels like it could be Dark Night of the Soul. It feels like there's these two lightning strikes, right? Like two bolts from the blue, I'm hearing. It could be that one hit this person, one hit this person. But it's coming in like a big realization of truth, a big wake-up call, a sudden rush of knowing. It hits. It could be that this person actually has like maybe like a lightning thing, you know, it guides the lightning. It's almost like Frankenstein as well. It's funny, Libra had created a monster by Paloma Faith. It's like it hit deep to the roots, deep to the roots. But there's this newness coming in with it, with like the Father of Pentacles, Taurus energy, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. I've had this thing in a reading once where it's like lightning hitting a tree, like maybe somebody literally seen a tree being hit by lightning, but it was this huge moment of realization, this huge like wake-up call. A decision being made there. There's the other ace. Oh my god, do you see that? So it could be that you're dealing with a Father of Pentacles, or this person's dealing with a Father of Pentacles figure. Boss, father, husband. You can see how his antlers are all lit up. These colours. It's like the lightning brings the colour. The lightning brings the realization. It's like injecting colour back into somebody's life. It comes in, here's that colour again. It goes into this person's head. They're doing this deep soul searching, probably looking at like their family, their roots. But then there's this energy of a decision needs to be made here. The Two of Wands, a decision needs to be made. It's like a branch split in two, a tree split in two, a family split in two, something about family coming back together. But a decision gets made, because it goes from the Two to the Three of Wands. A decision is made. It opens up an energetic portal. There's an opportunity here. Here's the opportunity. And what happens then? I picked it up and it was the Ace of Wands. So you've got 4 aces here with this person. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. This is new. This is like full like rebirth, like new start life. This is like completely shaking off the old, coming out completely new, with emotion, with passion, with real opportunities, real tangible skills or tools or offers on the table, and truth and clarity. That person, there is something going on with them under the surface. Again, they may be just going on about their life, wearing a mask, pretending everything's fine, when on the inside, at a soul level, with that Hermit card, that person has had, it's like a full transformation, they're giving me like MOT, an overhaul, as words, and they're showing me like the butterfly and the chrysalis, like completely, it's like at a cellular level. This feels like, this is something to do with ancestry, like DNA level transformation, like a transformation of their like patriarchal or matriarchal line, or both. It's like completely down to the roots, down to their family history, completely doing something differently. Like that person has gone through something major and they're wearing a mask and they're hiding everything. What a strange reading. Did not expect it to go this way. I want to say don't give up on this person. If this is your person, don't give up on them. They're showing us your Two of Cups, your emotional match, your emotional equal. 2 birds of a feather, telling me. But my God, that feels like going to hell and back. Don't know what's been going on for them, but that is like that deep soul searching, like going down, like into the underworld to confront Hades, confront their own inner demons, right? Confront the devil within. Something about the tradition, something about the family history, something that was unresolved. And that feels like, maybe that's what the obstacle was. Maybe it was like, we cannot let you go towards this person right now because they're facing the devil. That person is facing the devil. So your ancestors are like, we're just keeping you over here right now until that person's done that work, until that person gets to their truth, realization, like all those 4 aces in the upright. It's like, we're just going to keep you over here a little bit longer. Just let them go through it, right? Let them do what needs to be done. Rock bottom and golden palace. Well, that is flying. That is a big transformation, going from the rock bottom to the golden palace. Okay. They're giving me I was just thinking about how that reading went from pain to something else very quickly. Let me just check if they're knocking on my door. Sorry. Haha, interesting visitor there. Okay, so rock bottom. Surrender and acceptance are the keys to freedom. As difficult as it may be to accept, it seems like you've reached a point where you can go no further in the same manner in which you've been doing things. This is what I'm saying. It's like you've hit rock bottom. It's like, I can't keep doing this. Perhaps you've hit a proverbial brick wall. It's funny, it was saying about the obstacles being placed in your path, right? A proverbial brick wall, or experienced a deep sense of loss and don't know where to turn. The old way of doing things must be discarded fully in order to move onwards and upwards. A new direction and a new strategy are called for. The only way out is through surrender. Accept things as they are and admit that you have no idea what to do next. If you wait in that heartfelt moment of release, then a stairway will appear like magic, and all matter of synchronicities will show you the way to the higher ground. The rock bottom card is a sign that a miracle is about to occur, but only if you let go completely. So the release is important, and it could be that this is your person coming back. It could be because the judgment card is there, but they've come back completely transformed. This is almost a different person or a complete new attitude, like overhaul. Or you release, your surrender to the universe and let the universe guide you to something that's better and brighter and perfect for you. But you have to release the old. Golden Palace, there is always enough. The Golden Palace card represents good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth and prosperity. It may also indicate emotional fulfillment, as perhaps you're entering a time of happiness that's long overdue. The message here is that self-worth isn't measured by what you have, no matter how abundant your life is. Instead, it comes from what you are, how authentically you're living your life, and how much love you're willing to share. Granted, receiving this card does indicate material gain and a furthering of tangible rewards, but things come and go, and knowing your true value leads to even greater riches now. Share the wealth. All right, well, I hope that was helpful to you. Should we get some words? Let's get some words. Words, words, words. Love a few words. Okay, so words for the maiden. Memory. Funny with the elephant as well, memory. Cup. Memories of love, perhaps. The cup. Emotional memories. Love, yeah, definitely. Cup of love. I feel like this person's been stood there with the cup of love, right? Like, are you gonna come and get this? like I know this is this. Where are you coming in? Beautiful. Oh, what gorgeous words. One more, please, for the otter. Like, this person's gonna. I hope they don't miss the chance because this is gorgeous. Faithful. Look at those words. If anyone was wondering, memory, cup, love, beautiful, faithful. They just want their otter. They just want their other otter. So this person over here, though, this person is absolutely going through it. Body. MOT, right? Could have health problems or like be doing something with the body, you know, like exercising, watching what they eat, even things like, you know, like even things like surgery or like mild surgery or like looking after the health, like going sorting out the health problems. Always. Body, always, embrace. Couple more, please, for this person. Body, always, embrace. Cloud. I mean, you can try and embrace a cloud. That's going to be tricky. Could be talking about your hopes and your dreams. Embrace your dreams. Embrace your higher self. Remember. It's funny, we've got memory and remember. Could even be like a past life connection. Did we see the Six of Cups? Yeah, the Six of Cups can talk about like past lives as well. Soulmate connections, past lives, memories, ancestry. Like, these people are definitely remembering something here. All right, I hope that was helpful to you. Could be something with the 23rd of the 10th as well. We're going into October, 23rd of the 10th. That's just popped out to me. We'll see. All right, I hope that was helpful to you. It's so funny because the feelings at the start of the reading really did feel like rock bottom. It was like, I can't do this any longer. I'm going to have to find another way. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, the Golden Palace is here. Secret entrance. All right, take care. I hope that was helpful to you. Do what's best for you. And if you are trying to release, it's 53:53 on the timestamp there. If you are trying to release, do go and check out those videos. What was it? Susan Winter. May be helpful to you, maybe not. And if anything, I hope this was an interesting story. So do take care of yourselves first, and best of luck for the future. Keep plodding on. Oh, I never finished what I was saying because that guy knocked on the door. What were they giving me? Oh, that's so frustrating that it's gone now. Memory! Ah, my memory. Come back to me. If I remember, I'll put the song in the description box down below. So do take care and I'll see you again soon, guys. Bye bye. I'm back. Okay, I've got it. It was What a Difference a Day Makes, 24 Little Hours. So it's like you go from like rock bottom to on top of the world in an instant. It's funny as well because I feel like that's the trajectory of the readings this week as well. All right, I'm going again. Bye. Hey guys, so I keep trying to go and then I get sucked back in, you know. So I was putting my cards away. This is one of the decks I was planning on using for the next set of readings. I don't know what's going on with that now. But I was just putting the cards away and I got the urge to pull a few cards. And I asked why, like, why did the ghosting happen in the first place? It's the ghost deck, right? And the two cards that came out together, I mean, this is all major arcana. I can't believe this. The two cards that came out was the Hermit and the Death card. The Hermit was confirmed, clarified by the Hangman card. The Death card was clarified by the High Priestess. And then I was like, but that doesn't explain why. You know, why the ghosting happens. And then the Moon card fell out, and on the underline is the Ace of Cups. So I want to say there is love here. Now, whether this is a deep love for the self, this person's learning how to love themselves perhaps, it's like they have to learn to love themselves before they can come to you. But whatever, I can't stress enough that whatever this person's going through, it's deep, and it's deep in terms of like spirituality. It's like deep on a soul level, like a transformation of the soul, deep soul searching, probably around the concept of like life and death, or what happens after we die. Like, do we have a soul? What happens to that soul after death? I mean, this is somebody's going like deep philosophical, like existential crisis type lessons here. So the Hermit card is it's the need for solitude, and it's the need to kind of search within and figure things out within themselves before they can explain anything to anyone else, or probably questioning their own behavior as well. It's probably like, why did I ghost this person? Like, what does that say about myself? So they're turning inwards, which is really good actually. They're doing deep work. So I want to say it's not that this person's frozen, and it's not that they can't open the heart. It's that they're so deep in their own psyche right now that they're almost unreachable, I want to say. And this Hermit here, Virgo energy, was clarified by this Aquarian Hangman energy. So again, the Hangman card is like really looking at things from a lot of different angles. So not only is this person soul searching, but the soul searching like deeply from a lot of different perspectives. It could be that they're researching, you know, theories of the afterlife, and you know, they're really going very deep here. But the Hangman card also comes in with this like element of sacrifice, like personal sacrifice, being all tied up. Again, please do watch that Cowboy reading because there's a few similarities with that. Like really turning their own soul on its own head. Like, as I said, it's like a complete transformation as a person. It's like everything's upside down within them. And then it's here with the Death card and the High Priestess, which is, I mean, the Death card is like something that is like a complete ending. There's like, this is like, there's no going back from this. So it could be that this person has lost someone. You know, they may be facing a literal death in their life. Thinking about the soul, thinking about the spirit, thinking about what happens beyond the physical body, you know, the afterlife, soulmate connections. Do we have multiple lives here on earth? What happens at the gates, you know? Especially if they, you know, questioning their decisions, perhaps their life so far, their own ancestry, their own Akashic records, and the things that have been passed down through their family heritage, perhaps to this point. It's like, is my soul as light as a feather? And they have a huge amount of fear here with the moon card. This is fear and confusion, but it's also very, very spiritual. I mean, the high priestess and the moon, this really is like psychic. This person could be psychic right now, and even not understanding their own powers. Like they came up with the magician, right? Like their own powers of manifestation and um, their own soul contract with the universe. This is so deep, so deep, so spiritual, so. Um, it's funny. I had this dream last night. I was just telling this to someone else. I had this dream where I was sat in this kind of conference room, um, and all the women around me were kind of very samey, quite low vibrational, um, sort of uh, 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 like there was that kind of like sheep aspect to them, and they weren't nice people, and they weren't looking after themselves properly, and they weren't nice people. And I was like, I don't feel like I fit in here. I don't feel like I want to fit in here. So it could be that this person's going through something similar, where they're like, I don't really. It's like they're so deep, they're so deeply spiritual. That's what they need. They need, if they're going to offer their heart to somebody, they need to offer their heart to somebody who understands that emotional depth. Again, could be Scorpio here, or maybe Scorpio Venus placement or something like that. It's it's profound. This is like profound. um this is not surface level stuff. This is the sort of stuff that most people can't handle to think about, or they shy away from. It's not like you could have a normal conversation on the bus about this kind of stuff. This person wants something that's very deep and very meaningful and matches them on a soul level, and anything that's not that, they're not going to be interested. So I don't know. I don't know. I pulled those cards, and like I say, it's 5 major arcana, and then an ace, and an ace is like a gift from the universe. I would say the gift from the universe for this person is some kind of deep spiritual revelation, some kind of deep emotional awareness that goes like they're telling me this person's waters run deep. This person is not shallow. If this person was wearing a mask, being the comic, that is not their true self. That's the surface. This person's like, they're telling me oceans deep. So good luck with that. Good luck with that person. And yeah, I'm going to close out the reading again. Hopefully put the rest of my cards away with them not continuing to talk, but we'll see. All right, take care. Bye bye, guys.